All right, we are going to do a little bit of saddle work today. Well, saddle work. Saddle loading, saddle putting on. And I have no idea how this is going to go. But I thought I'd bring you guys along for it just in case. It's interesting. Now, in the past, I have. Can you come here for a second? Good. A little more. In the past, I've put a bareback pad on top of her without a halter. There we go. Thanks. And it's a totally different exercise. This is completely different. I've also got a halter on her, and so essentially we've got a cheat. We've got this thing that we can sort of cheat with, and have her draw, not because she actually wants to be with me, but because I'm sort of making her. And that's something to sort of recognize and be aware of. Okay, one more step, please. I know you're itchy. I'll scratch you for you. Go. So hopefully I can associate a little bit of something kind of good with this activity if she's a little itchy. Now, the other thing that I'd like to work on with her is getting her to draw better with a halter. So I get to do that while I sort of work this. And right now I just want to rub her with this thing, this blanket, this towel, this whatever it is, whatever you choose to use. This thing that has to kind of go on them and touch them, and they get a little bit worried. They're like, no, it's going to kill me. Like, no, it isn't. I'll draw. And on our last Wildie, Mr. Wild, we talked about trying to keep horses below a threshold. So you see how her head kind of comes up, and she says, I'm really worried. You know, you got me worried with that thing. And I might say, I know, but you don't have to worry. We're best friends. And I'm here for you. And I am here for her. I am here to give her an education. It's super foggy today. It's beautiful this morning. I tried to get out earlier, but I was so busy with so many things that I couldn't make it out. So what I really want is for her to manage this on both sides of her body. So when I kind of chuck it around a little bit, you can see I'm going to ask for her head to come down, as always. A little bit down, please. Come on, you know down. That is weight. It's just the weight of my hand, pretty much. It's nothing special. And we just say, please relax. There's a little bit. There's a little bit more. Just another couple inches, maybe. Something that means something. There we go. If she wants to back up, I'm totally cool with that. There. So she'll move her feet a little bit if she like. And with any luck, she'll sort of stay low. Her head won't come up while I do this. Mess around. Let her sniff it a bit. And get this on a little bit more. She's got a little bit of freedom to move if she so chooses to do. So far so good. Take that off. Flip it over, put it back on. Just get her used to this, almost a careless activity in a way. Now the one thing to think about, that I always say and try to put into people's minds, is that horses can stand for things when they're standing. So have her come up. That's good. That's plenty. Back over. So she's standing around. There we go. There's a double effect. Okay. So there's something on... Anyways, horses can stand for things when they're standing, meaning that if they're just standing around, she could kind of manage this. She doesn't have to think about walking. She doesn't have to think about anything other than some thing that's on her back, maybe on her butt, down her legs, up and over, a little touch here and there. How about under the belly? I want to get under the belly kind of good. because sooner or later we have to tie something onto her. So I just rub there, something like that, and draw, because it drives her away. I say, please come with me. So she's getting, oh, she says, I'm a little itchy right there. Be patient. Would you like me to scratch? She says, not really. You kind of suck at it. So I'll just try to find the location she's itchy on and just give her little scratchings. That's kind of good. Okay, what I really needed to do is travel with this thing on. So I'm going to put it on. We're just going to give this a go. Have her come. And pay attention. I don't need a lot of movement, but I want some. Turn left, that's her left, yep. Turn to the right. She's still just leading though, I'm still just drawing her around. But this is still fantastic progress. We can't, she stopped, so I'm just gonna have her come a little bit more. There we go. Atta girl. Okay, I'm gonna take it off the other side of her. Again, kind of carelessly. She can have a little bit of sniff or whatever, if that helps. I'm not completely convinced that horses need to sniff every tiny little thing that touches them, but heck, can't hurt. So we put it on one side, take it off the other. She says, I can handle this, I'm okay. Good. How about the belly again? There, before she leaves. Chuck this back on top. And we're giving it a good throw now. Right on her bum. Right over top of her bum. On her back. Up over her neck. There. She's got a scarf. It's a horse scarf. She's blinking kind of quietly. She looks okay. I'll give her a pot scrubbins. If you've never seen Ross Jacobs, he refers to this as a pot scrubbins. Some horses actually don't mind it at all. They're quite good at it. Okay, so with that kind of going well, we're going to continue on. I'm going to take off the girth actually, because it's a little bit flappy. We're going to leave the stirrups on. I know there's going to be some people that don't leave the stirrups on, because I know somebody that said never leave the stirrups on. Well, now you've got somebody who's going to say, just keep the stirrups on. You'll be fine. Now, the effect that I have on her as a horse, as a friend, is generally pretty positive overall. So I'm just going to bump this on her a little bit. Oh. And you hang on to it. This is one of my older saddles, so if it comes off, if she goes a little bit weird, I'm not too worried, because if it falls onto the ground, it's no big deal. Look at you be a champ. What am I going to even do with you? It's so easy. I'll take it off. Just put it back on. Stirrups and all. Let's flop that stirrup down over there. She's almost asleep. Almost. Cool, man. Well, it's fantastic. Up and over again. What do I do with you? Okay, let's take a walk. Trying to freak out too much, okay? She says, what do you mean freak out? It's not in my nature to... Yes, it is. So she's got some eyeballs on it. But overall, pretty darn good. I'm quite happy with that. Let's take it off. Over here. Take off the blanket. Now you might notice that I haven't really slowed down. I'm actually quite calm. Or not calm, I'm not calm. I'm going in a bit of a rush. Okay, hang on, let me grab a barrel. Because what I'm gonna do is, just in case, come on, silly. Just in case the camera work sucks. we're going to do this from the other side too. Anyways, the point is I'm not going slow. I'm sort of moving around at a pace that I would expect to be able to get stuff done normally. Okay, let's back up a smidge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, does that feel better? Feels better for me. But I really wanted to come in and be the energy here. Doesn't mean you would always do this, but I really want to put out material that has people thinking about some of the ways that we get taught how to do stuff with horses. Like, you got to move around really carefully and really slowly. And I don't believe it's always the case. I think you can gauge that. And I don't think that there's any problem with starting up high and then coming down quiet and low if you want. I don't believe it's always about going as slow as you can, and we can do that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, but I want to one of my goals is to sort of have thoughts about some of the, I don't know if they're myths. I mean, there's proven stuff, but as you can see, I'm now finally going a little bit slower, more relaxed. Just gonna chuck this up over here. Stirrups underneath. Right? Something like that. Pet her. Say good girl. Take a breath. Going about it slower, a little more methodical, a little more careful, a little more quiet. Pet her. Say good girl. You're fantastic. You want to take the next test? So we put a girth on you. And the change in energy will be palpable to the horse. They will be like, you changed your energy. Why are you so quiet now? That might mean something. It might, what is it? What do you need? That might mean something like, uh-oh, danger's coming, or trouble, or who knows for them. But the point is that energy up or energy down, you might get the same result. And in some cases, it's not so bad of an idea to just give it a go. Okay, so here comes, I don't know if we're in frame. It's actually kind of hard to tell. It's so darn bright out here. Okay, so we're gonna, jeez. Okay, back up a little, please. With the saddle on, back up. Thank you. 1, 2, let's go. Thanks. A little bit more. Okay, fantastic. Are you in frame? We don't even know. Here. Come over here for a second. Let's make triple sure we are a total frame. So my next step is to get this girth on. Now the girth can go a little sideways here and there. So what we're going to do is we're going to rub the tum-tums a little bit, and then we'll come up and we'll rub something else, and we'll give her a hug, a little hug. Just a reminder that she's with friends. Okay. Now the one thing I don't want her to do is get away from me and run off and get all worried. What I do want her to do is stand a little more sideways to you guys so we can see what's going on. All right, that's good enough. You're such a monkey. Okay, so with any luck, here, let's back her up. And you know the funny thing is, right now, because I'm trying to get her into a frame, I get to do all this sort of groundwork. Backing up is hard. Sometimes horses are really resistant to back up, especially when they've got stuff on their back. And I can tell her she's just the grandest of girls ever. She's the most wonderful, you know? And we've done a lot of that, her and I build this relationship. I'd like her to be square for girthing. Something like that. And so when I get this girth, just stop following me around. When I get this girth on, I want to be able to let it go, but I want to be able to have her nose towards me like she is and not sort of running off. So I'm just going to grab this girth here and grab her nose. She's looking off because there's a distraction somewhere over there. And I think that we can handle this. I think this will tighten up enough that we don't have to worry about the saddle coming off. So we're going to take a chance here. This is always, it's always going to be kind of taking a chance. And you've got to sort of take that chance here and there. We'll back her up. There we go. And we get the saddle to a point where it's not going to flip under. Because a saddle flipped under is not good. And now we're going to lead a little. So I had to make a brief cut there. Children chitty-chatting to me. Okay, so I haven't done anything though. We just came here. And this is going to be so anticlimactic that it's crazy. And I'm sort of getting used to the idea that these little wildies are just the smartest little things. I'm just having her have a little think about it. So we've got this on, not bad. I'd like it to be a little bit snugger for her. So I'm just going to snug up one more on this side. And we're just going to ask her to just hang out and chill. Say, it's okay. It's time to move around. So we'll draw. And we'll just see what she thinks. We don't have to use a lot of space. What she thinks about saddles and stirrups. Ho! Does she listen? Yeah, she's got some of her attention on me. A little shaky shake. You know, you'd think this was done with her, but I'm quite sure it has not been done. So I'm first. You see she's quite calm, her head is not up. She's also not really getting humpy, as they call it, where a horse's back starts to really bend upwards. Whoa, good. And we're just crisscrossing around. And I'd say this is so successful that I might have to move you guys to a wider shot. Let's do that now. I'm not going to cut the shot at all. We're going to do a little groundwork. Let's do a little groundwork. Okay. I don't want you chewing on the barrel. Can you please back up? I'll come around. And I'm going to triple check this girth. I think I can snug it up one more. Yeah, that's tight. We're good. We are good. Okay, so this is where things will probably go a little sideways, or I'm expectant of it. She hasn't really shown me any sign of really being too worried, but I'm going to ask her to go ahead of me. And this is our drive exercise. I'm just going to ask her to walk. So just walk around me. Just walk around me. Come on, you know better. Thank you. And we're just going to go a little bit together here. I'm going to pay attention to how she goes about her circle. It's a little more. She's drawn over to the other side. Maybe water. Maybe water. So we'll see. So I'm going to come ahead while driving and say, can you go straight a little? Away from the water or whatever you're drawn to over there. How about the other direction, please? So I'm providing a little bit of, well, pressure. I'm going to drive or push. I need your nose this way. Come on. Yeah, a little forward movement would be fantastic. And I've shifted my position because I need a different angle for the drive. And this feeling that I'm giving isn't going to be any different than if I was up and on her back. I would just be giving some kind of pressure. There we go. So we got a step. So now I'm going to lead, and then I'm going to try to drive. But driving pressure is a real thing. Horses have to put up with it. Whether you're whistling, you can go, or clucking or whatever, or swinging your rope, kicking your legs, squeezing your legs. It all means something, or should mean something. There. And now I want to draw her in with my eyes to where I want her to go, and it can be very slow. This can be very slow. We might match up some feet a little bit. So I might say, look, I'm giving you a little bump with my legs here, so you need to kind of go. I'll have that rope sort of tap her just very, very lightly in that girth area where my legs would be. I need her to come out of this corner, to be honest. I don't want to be over here. So we'll just keep going. And now I'm going to get a little ahead of her while picking up my rope. I know you're a very good girl. I'll give you a little break for a second there. But that might be enough. Now I'm going to draw, and I hope she comes. Let's get the saddle off before anything further happens, or something. Come with me, please. And that's it. I can go there. Okay, you can have things go sideways here as well, because you've got to sort of bunch up on that girth briefly. Now her nose is away from me. It's not the best, but I'm sort of giving her the opportunity to sniff around. She hasn't shown me any sign that she's going to lose her mind yet. So now I'm just going to drag this up and over her body. See how she feels. She says no problemo. Come around, place this up on the saddle holder. Thank her. And she's free. That was fantastic. You're free. Now, what I'm really actually quite curious of is, with nothing on her, I think she might have a roll. Let's let her have a roll, and then we'll get to whether I can sort of do this without a halter on. Oh, big shake. We can see if I absolutely need to cheat to get this job done. She's still thinking of a good roly-poly spot. Good. It's a nice solid roll. All right. Let's go ask her to be with me a little bit. Oh, she's leaving. No, I can't get her. Sorry guys, I just can't get her to come be with me, so we're gonna leave her at that. And hopefully that has been kind of interesting and a little bit, I don't know, informative. You know, nothing really bad happened, so I didn't have to fix anything, which is good. This is what we want. We actually want boring. We really want to be able to get something done with a horse and not have them lose their minds over it, buck around and do all kinds of crazy stuff. If in such a case, I do believe it's a little bit of kind of a failure. It would be a failure on my part if I couldn't get her to accept that in a calm way. So the trust that I've tried to build, laying down, sitting with her, chit-chatting, lots of little bits of groundwork, lots of draw, lots of drive, all that stuff has led to what I believe is just a successful saddling. I mean, how crazy is that? And she just says, well, I guess I trust you. I mean, that's what I believe is happening. I'm going to go over to her. She's had herself a drink, So she might be a little more willing to stand around for me. I'll just give her a scratch, say, I want to groom. No, she says, I don't want to. You and your stupid blanket. I don't know if you guys can tell how politely she's leaving me. Very polite leave. She's not giving me too much trouble about it. Oh boy. She wants to go have another roll. And let's see, where are you guys framed up? You guys couldn't see anything. Let's push this all the way out and then I'll go over there. Okay, one last try. I just want to get this blanket on without a halter so I don't have to cheat. Or I don't have to show that I cheated to get this job done. Hello. Just a little scratch and a rub. So, there we go. Okay, hi, can I just, I'm going to come over this side because I don't want you leaving anymore. So then, can I get this done without cheating? I believe I can. And that's it. And I leave, and I'm done. See you guys in the next one, where hopefully we do even more.